Macho John Madden in Veracruz, Mexico, about 900 miles south of the border along the Gulf of Mexico. And this is it. This is the bay, Veracruz Bay, and out beyond that breakwater is open ocean. I've spent the last year basically tracking the east coast of Mexico, with the destination being the Riviera Maya and the beaches there, because I get super happy swimming in the ocean. I'm a big lover of National Public Radio, and also these days a big lover of travel. I've spent the last 4 years traveling, 3 years in the US and 1 year in Mexico in camper vans. And you learn stuff you never learn by staying at home, even listening to NPR. Boots on the ground, have the actual experience. And I caught NPR in a factual error just a few minutes ago, listening to the news broadcast at 2 p.m. today, Saturday the 19th. They were covering a SpaceX launch in Texas, and Luis Schiavone, who's like all NPR folks, extraordinarily skilled and apt, made a misstatement. She said, at SpaceX West Texas facility. Now, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have blinked at that, but I spent 9 months in that area where the SpaceX facility is, right up against the Gulf of Mexico, the southeast corner of Texas, and a whole different cultural and historical creature than West Texas, which I don't know, but is, I think West Texas people have their own culture and their own temperament, and they wouldn't want to be mixed up with the Brownsville, with the whole Rio Grande Valley area. I know that SpaceX facility. I drove by it many times, stopped to take pictures and videos. I was there from the last part of 22 to the first part of 23 for 9 months, from at one end, South Padre Island, all along the Rio Grande Valley to the west end of McAllen, is as far west as I got. And my first encounter with SpaceX was a fellow vagabond, a guy who had just arrived from like Missouri with no vehicle, asked me to give him a ride to the SpaceX facility because he naively thought he could just walk in and get a job interview. You can almost walk in. You get really close. You get so close you get great pictures of the rockets on the launch pad. But they didn't allow him to walk in and get a job interview. It's right next to Boca Chica Beach, which is kind of the local beach for this town of Brownsville, big city of Brownsville, because it's only locals who know about it and go there. It's about 30 miles due east. It's kind of out of your way. But it's a remote and wonderful beach where most people make a left when they hit the beach, just about 100 yards past the SpaceX facility, and go left north up to the shipping channel, where it's right across from South Padre Island, and South Padre Island is the most preferred place to watch launches. I went to the right, south, because I had looked at the map and knew that the Rio Grande River is really close. It's about 5 miles south when you hit the beach. And along the way, I asked somebody, hey, if I drive my two-wheel drive camper van down here, am I going to run into trouble? And she says, you'll make it okay, but you can't get out at high tide. So I did that a couple of different times. I parked at that spot where the Rio Grande River dumps into the Gulf of Mexico, where you can dive in right off the bank because the river carves a deep spot right there along the beach. And it's an easy swim across to Mexico. They call it, there's a name for the Mexican beach on the other side. Big sandbar on the Mexican side, and a very favorite place for Mexican folks to party. Usually big family groupings, many families, and wonderful happy sounds. I got so happy listening, and did swim across twice, I guess illegally, entering into Mexico, my first two entries into Mexico. And I walked up to a bunch of guys talking on the beach, and using my best Spanish, which isn't all that great, I said, "Necesito un pasaporte?" Do I need a passport? And they thought that was, but I think they had never seen an American do that, swim across. And there's no guard post there. No. My understanding is that you go just a little far up the river, and there are patrol boats and guard stations. And as you drive in, just a little ways past the SpaceX facility, people check to see if you've got wetbacks in your trunk and stuff. Yeah. So I became an official wetback and loved that spot. It's a very special spot. The people of Brownsville love that spot. On one of their travel websites, one of the locals had waxed eloquent about that spot where the two countries meet at the Rio Grande River and then dump into the Gulf of Mexico. It was like a metaphor for the blending of cultures in Brownsville, which is kind of seamless. So, stand corrected, NPR. Don't say that SpaceX is in West Texas. You're going to have some upset West Texans and Brownsville people. Okay.